Hi, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Married Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Marlai Anoputi. Thank you so much for always joining us. And a big thank you to all our new members, new joiners, and our new subscribers as well on YouTube. Thank you so much. Please, if you do like our channel, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us a like or a comment. We'll be glad to see you join us and follow us. So today we'll be looking at another interesting topic that says, what do you do when you are married to a man who has refused to work but live off the woman? What do you do when you're married to a man who has refused to work but live off the woman? Now, the thing is, we've been getting quite a number of complaints around this about the man of the house not working, not wanting to work. He doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't know how we eat in this house. He doesn't know how we pay the rent, how the children pay their school fees. And he's the man of the house. He's the husband. He's the head of that home. And when I hear all these complaints, I find it very ridiculous because I would expect that a man will be up and doing naturally. A man would want to walk and to till the ground, and make sure that he can make provision available for his home, for his wife, for his children. But when you now hear that a man does not want to work, I mean, last week we got a case of a lady who said that the husband has not been working for years, and and our elder sister sent him a car to use to do Uber, and the guy said, "Oh, you know what? I can't do Uber. I can't drive Uber. I mean, I'm too much to do such menial job." Now, this is a guy that cannot put 1 naira down for them to eat. He doesn't have an idea of how his wife and his two children survive. And this is the same man that will collect money from his wife, you know, to go out there to gamble with even the little that the wife is trying to put together to feed the children. Now, we have such men out there, and when we hear these cases, it's really pathetic, it's really sad. Now, when you're married to that kind of a man, what should you do? And I'm going to be talking to to those kind of men first, because see, there was one recently few days ago that said, "Oh, ma'am, what do you do about a man that has refused to work but will keep saying God will provide? God will provide, God will provide. You have refused to work, but you are calling God that God will provide. Excuse me, don't you know that the days that manna fall from heaven are over? Even though we believe that God is a great God and that our heavens will be opened and He will pour us a blessing, see, He will always ask you, what do you have in your hands that I can use as a tool or as a medium to bless you? He said that whatever our hands finds to do, we should do it, and that He will bless the work of our hands. What work is in your own hands that God can see and can bless? Gambling is not a work that God can bless. Betting is not a work that God can bless. He said, from your labor, from your sweat, you will eat. So you have to learn how to do meaningful work, meaningful job, and you must be willing to start from somewhere. Little step here and there to make sure that your family can survive. See, and that is why we cannot emphasize upbringing and parenting enough, because when I hear this kind of thing, the first question that comes to mind is, this kind of man was being raised by another parent. This man came from a home, and I wonder what kind of training he got, because see, when you raise children to believe that they must be dependent, to believe that the parents must fend for their needs, the government must fend for their needs, Families must fend for their needs, and they see it as a right that their needs must be fend for. See, when such men grow up, they will grow up with entitlement mentality that even their wife and their children must fend for them to eat. Meanwhile, they are not trained, they are not taught to fend for others. So marrying such men can be very catastrophic. The woman will suffer and suffer and suffer all the days of her life unless God intervene, and that kind of a man have a reorientation of mind and a change of attitude. Because see, how can a full grown man, when you are not blind, you are not lame, you are not deaf, you are not handicapped, how can a full grown man sit down doing nothing? I even hear some saying, "Oh, I can't do menial things, so I just have to sit down, and keep searching for the big jobs until I get the big jobs." And I'm like, excuse me. So what if this woman too is not working? What if this woman is a lazy bone like yourself? What if she too is idle and she's not doing anything to earn? How will you and those kids feed? Because what that means is you would have succeeded in killing people with hunger when you or and the woman, you both are not doing nothing or doing anything. So, and that is why when you see those the women that are married to this kind of men, they are usually, unfortunately, they are usually the hardworking ones, the up and doing women, the hardworking ones. They will go out of their way to fend for their children, to fend for their home, to cover the man's shame, and yet you don't deem it fit the man to stand up and work. See, God will not provide unless you plant a seed. For an harvest to come, you have to plant, you have to sow, you have to do something. He must meet work in your hands that he can bless, for him to provide for you, and you must be making effort. Now, there are some cases of some men that probably in the past, or over the years, they were working and they've been doing their part very well. They've been providing. Now, I'm not referring to those kind of men, because those ones, they are not lazy. It's circumstances that turned against them. Maybe they lost their job, but even at that, you don't just sit down because you lost your job. I mean, some of us, we've lost our job times, a few times in our career life, and we don't say because of that we sit down. In fact, the way technology has made life now, technology has made it so easy that you can be in Nigeria and you can be doing business even abroad and be earning abroad. You can be anywhere. They don't need to see you physically. Just make sure you have maybe a computer, a phone, a tablet, something that you can see. There are many things you can do that can fetch you money. So a man has to be creative. A man has to be up and doing. You can't sit down and say, "Oh, well, she will take care of the bills." Excuse me. You can't keep doing that, because I tell you, one day that woman will run out of patience. Her patience will turn to long suffering. Her long suffering will turn to endurance. And see, a time will come, she'll be fed up. And once she's fed up, I tell you, that marriage that you are feeding off will collapse. And when that collapse, your nakedness and your shame will be seen out there in public. So you need to have a rethink. You need to stand up. You need to do something. You cannot be feeding off your wife, and be proud of it. No, it's not noble. It's not honorable for you to be feeding off a woman perpetually, and you are comfortable with that. You don't see anything wrong in it. You believe that anything level, low level. So as a result, your own is to be consuming, eating. You've turned yourself to a consumer. When you have not manufactured anything, and you will be consuming. Don't you know consumers economy, are the destructive one, because if you are consuming without manufacturing, a time will come, see, you will not have anything to consume again. if there are no people manufacturing to produce what you are consuming? So what if your wife is not a manufacturer? And see, your discretion or common sense should tell you that this woman is making effort, this woman is sacrificing, that love is reciprocal, that you should meet her halfway, that you should respond to her love equally by going out there to do something and bring something to the table. See, you can't be bringing 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira to the table and telling her, that is all you have got. 2,000 naira for 4 children, excuse me. Well, how would they survive, including your wife and you? You expect to eat from 2,000 naira, and some women will say that 2,000 naira, you will put down that 2,000 naira once in 1 month, and you expect things to be normal and you expect her to be happy. It's not going to work like that, young man. You have to do something. You have to be productive. You have to earn. We can't say this enough. See, if you want peace in your home, in your own life, especially, you have to get out there, work with your 2 hands and earn. See, so long you are not handicapped, so long you are not blind, you are not lame, you are not sick, please get something doing. Get something doing. There is a lot you can do. And see, you need to reform your mind. You need a transformation of mind, because if you continue like this, I wonder what kind of example you are laying down for your children. Because your children, they are obviously watching you. They are watching you, and I wonder what they are taking in from you, because now their mindset or their mentality is that, oh, in our home, is the mothers that go to work, is the mothers that fend for the home, that pays the school fees, that pays the house rent, while the father sit down, the father, they gamble, they do betting, they do all irresponsible things. No, that shouldn't be the training your children will get, because if that is what you are feeding them with, I'm sorry, unfortunately, when they also grow, they will become useless like you. So you have to stand up from that seat and do something. And for those who are married, to those kind of remarks, see, a time will come in your life that you need to come to a point whereby you assess that relationship and ask yourself, see, is this really doing me a lot of good or a lot of harm? And see, when it's obvious that this person has refused to change, then you need to begin to reprioritize. You need to now prioritize yourself and your children above such a man, because even scripture says that he that does not work should not eat. So he shouldn't eat. Prioritize the care and the well-being of yourself and your children above such men. Let them go out there and fend for themselves. Stop baby sitting or breastfeeding or spoon feeding grown-up adults. Men, that should be making impact in society, that should be transforming the nation, contributing to our economic GDP. Men that should be doing great things should not be sitting down idle and feeding off women. No, stop babysitting them. Stop backing a man as like a baby or breastfeeding them like a baby. No, he's an adult. Let him go out there and work. So focus on yourself, focus on your children. Take your own care, your happiness, the happiness of your children, their care and well-being as priority above him. Don't feed such a man. Don't feed such a man at all. That is the truth. Don't feed such a man. If he cannot go out there to work with his hands, to fend for the home, I'm sorry, please, he has no business feeding in that house. So I would like to stop here now. This truth may look bitter, but we just have to say it, because that is the only way people can be liberated. So I remain your host, Moralai and Opoti. If you have learned from this, please leave us a comment, a like. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please also share this video so that others can see it and learn from it. Remember, God will only bless the works of your hands. So you have to find something doing. Don't be idle, because an idle hand is a devil's workshop. So we'll see you again. So bye.